going on, folks? Welcome back to the Bobby Dizzle podcast. This week's guest, former WAAY 31. That's what? WAAY 31? He was the meteorologist at WAAY 31, Mr. Ari Sarsalari. He's currently works for the Weather Channel, and those of you not from Huntsville, that's probably how you know him. We got to be sort of friends back when he lived here, so he agreed to be on the podcast, and what a great podcast it was. We didn't just talk about my obsession with tornadoes, but went down some other rabbit holes as well. Ari, thanks for being on. This is a great episode. I'll shut up now. Let's get to Mr. Sarsalari. Peace out.
It's a Bobby Dizzle podcast. It's another podcast. Yeah.
Wow. So I have the gain all the way down. What if I were to turn that up a little bit? Is that too much? Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check, mic check.
That sounds
getting louder.
good.
Still okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's the kind Rhett and Link use, isn't it? The Blue Yeti?
I don't know, man. Is this a children's podcast? Can I drink beer on it?
No. I mean, no, it's not a children's.
Oh, man, I'll put the beer away now.
As you've already dropped the F-bomb once, so it's cool.
Did I?
It happens. I can tell
Okay.
a lot's changed in the 5 years since you left, since we had to schedule around a kid's bedtime and a bath at my house.
Yes, same here. It's been ridiculous.
You've had a lot going on lately, hadn't you?
Yes, and you look a lot smaller, Bob. What's
Yeah,
going
it's
on?
crystal meth. It really does wonders. Actually, I started doing keto in 2017, seriously, and it worked.
I've heard ridiculously great things about keto. I follow the keto subreddit, and I see all these stories, and it's pretty amazing.
What they don't tell you is it stops working after your body. I guess ratio would be, you can do it so long, and all of a sudden your body's like, oh, we're going to do this now, and it just stops. Comes to a halt. I went from, I think after a big Sunday dinner, I went from 258 down to my lowest was 191.
Oh, my.
And then it just kind of stopped, and then holidays happened, and now I'm like a 210. So it's mostly water. If I ever get back on it seriously, about 10 pounds falls off in a week.
Dude, I was trying to find your podcast on, I use Pocket Casts on Android. What's it called?
I wonder if I have it. It's called Bobby Dizzle Podcast.
Is it the one with the black hat, Justin Dole?
Yeah, it's see this logo behind my head?
Yeah, who's Justin? Okay, I'm going to follow
That's my real name. You didn't know that, did you?
I had no idea,
We
dude.
should have hung out more. See, we only hung out like a half a dozen times.
I know, that's the problem. Okay, now I'm definitely, wow, you haven't done one since July 20th. This is exciting.
I've done backlogs. I started getting to where I was trying to get desperate with filler, and I said, no, this isn't me. I'm not going down the rabbit hole again. I did the same thing with my cooking YouTube channel. I kind of just got hung up in the schedule. I said, I'm putting about 30 in the bank. Then I'm going to do it right. So I started scheduling. I reached out to you. I've reached out to several people.
Dude, I enjoyed that old YouTube thing you were doing with the cooking and stuff.
Oh yeah, I did. I started doing it with the keto stuff after that. I changed the name of it and everything.
I was looking for it today. Is it all gone? Did you delete it all?
It's still there. What's it called? I started doing a bunch of vlogs on it with my keto day of eating, and people love those.
I think I was getting it mixed up with Jim's What is Cooking or whatever.
Yeah, I think that disbanded completely.
Oh man.
What is my other YouTube channel called? It's called Bobby D.
Bobby
Okay.
D. Okay.
Got a
dude.
picture of me holding a sheep. I didn't even know that.
What a wonderful guy. He's got a sheep and everything. Let me get one thing real quick. I'm going to clean off my camera and then I'll be ready to go.
But you're gonna clean your ears out.
Hang tight for just a second.
Ari is cleaning his camera. Look at that. It's got a built-in barnwood there. Real celebrity here, the one and only Ari Sarsalari. I did a rundown, ended up talking about me. Cleaning his camera. Cleaning the camera. Everybody see my Star Wars mug? Drinking Old Town coffee today. I don't have a sponsor yet, but if I did, it'd be then.
All right.
Here he's back.
These are my professional in-ear monitors I use for playing the drums. And the quality is unbelievable in these things.
I bet. I saw you take them off, and I was sitting here just like, well, there goes Ari. He's gone away. He's walking around.
Yeah, man. Ready?
Keep me from having to edit. I just keep talking.
All right. Should be a little better, hopefully. Okay, I'm ready to dance.
Ready to dance. All right. I got a rundown and everything, and I'm hoping it gets
exciting.
Butchered. Hope it gets butchered and thrown away, because that's when you know you're doing it good.
Preparation.
But, I was going to say, because you were at WAAY TV, and
I was.
You walked up the mountain in the snow. Your most memorable Huntsville moment, the one time it snowed in the last decade, thanks to global warming. What do you think the difference in the Weather Channel in 31 was, other than the obvious?
Oh my gosh, it's a huge difference. Well, the Weather Channel's gone through so many changes since I've been here. I think I started here in 2014. I've been here for about 5 years now.
Yep.
Can't believe
right after my kid got out of the hospital.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
And that tornado came through.
That's right. Okay, that was 2014, April 28th, right?
Yep, right after the 3-year anniversary of the Big Daddy.
That's right. So, yeah, it's super different. Okay, local news, you're forecasting one area. You learn it really well. You get really good at it. You know all the ins and outs of it. And then at the Weather Channel, you're
all
forecasting...
areas.
Dude, you're forecasting national stuff and international stuff. Today, actually, there wasn't much going on domestically, so, we were just forecasting all these typhoons going on in the Western Pacific and all this kind of stuff hitting Japan. You just learned so much, and, it's funny. People ask me here all the time. They're like, hey, what's the weather going to be like? I'm like, I have no friggin' clue, man. I haven't looked at anything around Atlanta for a really long time. I'm like, go outside. Tell me what the weather is.
You've got 7 stations in Atlanta. Listen to them.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, but it's extremely different. Atlanta is a humongous city, and it has just a bunch of little cities that are like the size of Huntsville all around it. So, my commute sucks, but I have a really nice house that's, on a big piece of land, which I like because I play the drums and nobody's near me. So I deal with the commute. But I got to tell you, and I'm not just saying this because I'm on your podcast, I miss Huntsville, man. Huntsville is by far the favorite city that I've ever lived in.
It's weird. So many people say that they moved here and they're like, they're from God knows. And they usually bitch for the first 6 months because everybody talks funny and the driving's horrible. But then they're like, I just want to stay here forever and never leave.
You think the driving's horrible. I remember people used to complain about that little hill, Chapman Mountain, 565. Oh, it'd get a little backed up for about 15 minutes during the morning commute. Dude, y'all got it good. Trust me on that.
Yeah, that's what I always hear. And I had to go through 3 municipalities to get to work today, but I got to see some cows and stuff, so that's cool.
What are you doing now?
I'm a network guy on Redstone. Before I was a video guy, so I just moved to another seat.
I got you. So that explains why you're kind of a video file and an audio file. And I feel like I'm kind of the same. Like if I'm going to do a podcast, in fact, I'm going to criticize you right now. You got too much headroom in your shot. Too much headroom.
Well, it's me. I'm trying to do the 4:3, the golden ratio.
Yeah.
Let me match you here.
We don't want to see up your nose either. Get the stand for that thing a little bit higher. Shoot it down. See how you're looking down? You're looking down at my ever-growing forehead as I've lost a lot of hair since I've been in Huntsville and through my career.
Looking down is the way to do it? See, I just took my camera off my stand and set it on my laptop.
You got to do it like the selfies, right? I don't take many selfies, but you see all the chicks that do it, they go from above. There's apparently a reason for that.
Mostly because they're usually fat.
Yeah. Hey, listen. It's the old switcheroo on dating sites. But you've probably been married since before dating sites, huh?
Yeah, I've been married. I don't even know. God, I don't want to get back into that world either.
It always seems like it's fun, right? Like you're together and then you're like, oh man, it would be fun to date again. And then you start dating and you're like, oh man, this sucks. I just want somebody.
Until somebody posts something after 9:30 on a Tuesday, you're like, what the hell were you doing out that late?
9:30 is late now, isn't it?
I would throw up if I was out that late.
How many kids you got now? You got have you had any more? Because I know our buddy Jim, he had one kid when I left, and he was like, yeah, we're done. And now he has 3 more, and all of them are girls.
Yeah, Jim's wife's pretty much got to lay on her side all day like a sow. They got so many. Keep her in a fair one. She's gonna kill me when she sees that, which she will. Hey, Christy,
Yeah.
you're not a Sal.
Christy, I miss you and I love you.
She's my financial advisor now. She can really screw me up.
You know what? I'm coming to Huntsville. When is it? September. The National Weather Association conference is there this year, and I go to that every year. So that is September, like the 6th through the 11th or something. I'll probably be there. But I just recently went back to Huntsville. I hadn't been back in a couple years. I brought my girlfriend here.
Did she like it?
She loved it. It's fantastic. I was talking it up like crazy, too. I'm like, you're going to love the city. And it was even better than I remember. Big Spring Park is even more cleaned up than it was. It looks fantastic. They got that big fountain now. That whole little district in the downtown where we had some hipster coffee and some granola stuff, which was probably good for you.
Tons of hipster stuff down there.
Yeah, man.
Those are all my potential sponsors. Hey, hipster coffee.
That's right. Whatever it is, you should get them. It was fantastic.
This is actually Old Town coffee from downtown, so maybe it.
Ooh, delicious. Cheers. I'm drinking nighttime coffee.
Yeah, they sell that downtown too.
It's delicious.
It's funny because you said what was I talking about? When I mentioned Ari about the last time we hung out, maybe the last time we went to the sushi place and Jason Simpson's wife got sick and you had to leave. But you were in the middle of drawing how a hurricane was made on a napkin and me and Jim were huddled over you.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to remember that. Okay, I do remember being at the sushi place for sure. I remember that. It's so funny how we all met. Do you know how I met Jim?
Through hockey.
No, we started playing hockey together, but the way I met him was the first guy I met was Brian. Okay? Deuces, if you will. That's his nickname. I went to buy the video game NHL 14 for Xbox at Target, and Brian was working there at Target. He sold me the game, and he's like, hey, I got a club if you want to play on it. I said, sure. So I got his number or whatever, and then Jim was on that club as well with WAAY, I think was also on that. Yep. Like 2013, something like that. So
ages ago.
Yeah.
That was, I think the first time we met was that when Jim finally won free hockey tickets. We got to sit down there on the floor.
Dude, those Havoc games were fun. Do you still go to Havoc games?
Only when it's Melissa George night. The NICU, the neonatal unit.
Gotcha.
That's their charity. Hey, they have a, what is it? I can't think of the word. Minor league baseball team coming to town. The Trash Pandas.
I heard about that. I saw that on Twitter, and I actually kind of like the name, the Trash Pandas.
They have a giant store at Bridge Street. Nothing but Trash Panda gear.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about Bridge Street. I should have brought Grace there. God dang it. How's Bridge Street looking now? Before it was that you had the movie theater that had the restaurant, and the restaurant, the food, I remember I did not think it was good. And it was it was overpriced, and it was like trying too hard. They need to just simplify that menu a little bit, make some good clean food. And but you pay for that's the scene in Huntsville, right?
Yeah, the scene may have changed. I haven't been since I had a job that took us there every couple of weeks for free. I'm definitely not paying for it. But overpriced. Little appetizers this size.
Exactly.
Yeah, they just redid it all. It's now a Cinemark. It's not even Monaco.
But I remember you could drink beer in the movie theater, which was
they still got that. The Privé.
Yeah, that's like a regular thing now, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep, I think it's a standard now.
It's like all over the place. That's fantastic. So, Justin, what else do you got for me? I just learned your name is Justin.
Justin.
Do you go by Justin on this podcast or no?
Nope, it's Bobby Dizzle. Justin is my Christian name. So I was baptized, name of the Father and Son.
There you go.
But back in 8th grade at rookie week in band camp, they gave me the nickname Bob. And for some reason it stuck. Like almost by the end of the week it had changed. And so I kind of go by it as like my stage name.
Band camp, what did you play?
The trumpet. Oh, yep. Went to the Rose Bowl. Kind of proud of that.
Very nice. Hey, did you just hear that big burp that I did or not?
Oh, yeah.
You did? I thought I tried to press mute. Ready, set, go.
I heard a little. I saw. My mind might have heard it more than my ears.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep,
10.
It went out.
Okay, good, excellent.
I could tell you did something, but I guess my mind heard it.
I'm learning how to use this microphone.
Hey, you got a Blue Yeti. I'm more watching it work than you talk.
See, like at work, we have these ridiculously high quality microphones when we podcast. So this looks to me, this is like old. I used to use this. The whole reason I bought it was I was rehearsing a 5-piece 80s hair metal band at my house, and I hung it from the ceiling and I put it on the surround sound setting so that I could listen back to practices. That's the whole reason I bought this.
That's
in fact,
weird.
Look, I still have the duct tape on the bottom from where I hung it from the roof or from the ceiling.
See, that's like the creme de la creme of podcast mics. The Blue
That's
Yetis
what I
are.
hear. That's the word on the street. I also have an AT2020 somewhere, but I couldn't find it. It's buried somewhere. I've been through a lot, Bob. I had a kid. I had a divorce. I got a girlfriend now, and life is good, man. Life is good.
I saw that change. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What is this?
You want to dig? You want to dig? Go ahead. Let's dance.
I want to dig. I had weather questions. I actually had. I want to talk about weather because you're obviously a weather man, and I'd listen to James Spann sometimes, obviously, and I wanted to know what your opinions were on the tracks of tornadoes. When it seems to be in a typical spot at the same time every time. Like, what the hell is with that?
That's just a fallacy, really. You just happen to live in a place where you get a lot of tornadoes, and the tornadoes tend to move in the same direction. They tend to move southwest to northeast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
out of Mississippi.
Out of Mississippi. And you just, if you live in a place that's such a hotbed for tornadoes, you're going to get the same spots that'll get hit sometimes. That's really all it is.
That's what I pretty much assumed. It just kind of the way it flowed, but it looked like between you were talking about earlier, Chapman Mountain and the Flint River. Oh shit, the Flint River, which is close to where I live now. Looks like nothing hits over there, but I go to Meridianville and Hazel Green. It's like all the time. I even saw, and it reminded me this morning because I said I had to go through several municipalities and take a detour. I went by where one hit and it knocked down some pine trees back in 2012. I thought about that. Someone to ask Ari about that. So I've heard Spann say it, and he said the exact same thing.
Okay, that's good to know because I was hoping that was right. No, I'm just kidding. I know.
You copied off Spann's paper?
There's a little bit of research out as far as what tornadoes do with terrain. Like, there's been some research that has shown that they gain strength when they go down a mountain and they lose strength when they go up a mountain. But all the stuff that's going on to create a tornado, it's going on above our heads.
Yeah, like 10,000 feet or more, right?
Yeah, so the effect that the ground has on it is pretty minimal overall, but not zero, I suppose.
It's so weird because when we lived in this house here, this neighborhood was built between 2010 and 2013, and just last year they started building more in the backside, another 40 acres, and people stopped. More than one person asked us what the tornado rate was around here. And
tornado rate? What's that?
Like the amount that came over this way, and we're like, hardly any. So we get a spin up every now and then, but Chapman Mountain seems to stop them. If
I'm not mistaken, I think there was one in March of 2012 that went through that area because I remember
it went over the Flint River toward Buckhorn.
That's right. That's right where my house was. I lived right at the bottom of Chapman Mountain over there. So I remember when I was looking at houses, I was like, oh my gosh, a tornado. This was like 2013 or something. So I was like, yeah, there was a tornado that had just hit there recently. But yeah, they can hit anywhere, man.
Oh, I don't doubt that a bit. The 74 one came right over like just south of where I'm at now. And that's what everybody talks about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look who's home. Come on over.
We got more people? Hey, you're like Bill Burr.
I've got I know, the lovely Grace. How you doing? Can I have one on the...
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
You smell sweaty. You just got back from climbing or what? Come say, look, you see up here? Say hi to Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
That's my buddy from Alabama.
Buddy from Alabama.
You can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah. He's got this microphone. That's why I'm not doing stupid. Like, hey, Grace, how you doing?
These are really good headphones. There's no way you're going to be able to hear out of these.
No,
yeah,
not
no chance.
Okay, I'll let you guys get
I'll meet up with you in a minute. Hey, what are the chances? I mean, not like it's your job or anything, but if there was a slight chance that there would be
When you start throwing those away.
adult beverage upstairs. She says if I start throwing away the cans more regularly, then maybe.
I didn't know where that was going. Slight chance if we could get this table a little bit higher. If I
Yeah, no, I was asking for a beer in a very very careful
we
way.
have to put a giant E on the label of this podcast.
What you been up to, Bob? Jeez, I mean, I was just mentioning before we started, like, you look so much smaller, dude. You and your wife and your kids look great. That little peanut, she looks fantastic. Like she's thriving, isn't she?
Oh, the red one? Yeah, she's mean. And if she wasn't in the bath, she'd be in here, and I have to bribe them with ice cream every time I do one of these because they think it's their podcast.
Did you get them to bed?
Up in here. Do I?
Did you get them to bed?
No, they're in the bath right now.
Oh, I got you. I did the bath earlier. If you saw my bathroom right now, after that bath, my kid just is turning 2 tomorrow, so she's just splashing it all over the place. There's very little washing, and then you just kind of sit back and you're like, well, you know, I guess all this splashing is kind of getting all the areas washed that need to be washed.
Have they got into bath bombs yet? They're like crack.
We had tried one earlier on. I haven't tried one in a while, but I bet she'd like it now. She used to hate the bath, but now she loves it.
It's funny you asked what I've been up to. We did the when I started getting these together and back of the napkin in the show. One of my buddies who makes did you get a beer?
I did. She gave me a crappy one though. It's in between. Thank you.
You're cleaning them up.
I will clean them up. Don't worry.
I've got a flat earther potentially going to be on here, a famous one.
Ooh, that's exciting.
D Marble.
Who's that?
He's from Seattle. He has a band that he covers and stuff.
Dude, what is the deal? How is this possibly a thing? I don't understand it.
I don't know. They're like Google Flat Earth, space is a lie.
Like I get the idea of conspiracy theories. I get it. You want to find something to kind of latch onto. I get it. You could take stuff like the moon landing, which obviously I believe happened. Yeah. But even with that, you can at least look at a couple of things where you can maybe say, oh, okay, maybe there's a little bit of a reason to believe something here. But this flat earth thing, we've been in space. We got pictures of it. You can see the curvature on the horizon. It's just enough already, people. Please.
You know what they like nowadays is the Tesla in space that Elon sent in there 2 years ago.
I'm telling you, man.
They're obsessed with that.
Oh, so they think that means that it's flat?
No, that it's fake. That the Tesla in space was fake. That Elon faked it all.
Well, I'll tell you what. It would be a lot easier to fake something like that nowadays than it was back in the 60s.
Yeah, and I think most research shows that it's a lot easier just to do it than to fake it.
I would agree with that.
Why would we do anything like fake a man in space? Why wouldn't it be like the simplest thing you could do? Like, no, we're going to send a car.
Yeah. I love those Teslas, by the way. I'm a total cheapskate when it comes to cars. I refuse to have a car payment, so when one of my cars dies, I usually buy one that's about 10 to 15 years old with cash and then drive that one into the ground. My last one was an '04 Honda Accord. My latest one is an '06 Honda Civic. Those Honda engines.
Subarus. I thought you were a Subaru guy.
No, my girlfriend's got a Subaru. It's nice though. I mean, I use it to transport drums to gigs and stuff because it's big. She's got an Outback, I think, but we both drive manual transmission. That's how you know you got to keep her. That's right.
Saw your kid was driving one today.
She was. That was on Saturday, man. She loves to sit in the driver's seat, man.
Yeah, you got to get. I got to get manual transmission so my wife can't take my cars.
Well, nowadays it's like automatic built-in, anti-theft. Nobody knows how to drive it anymore.
Millennial
it's crazy.
theft the turret.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people don't know how to drive it. Those are the only cars I've ever driven, so I personally like it. I don't like automatic cars because I feel like they just do whatever they want, and I have no control of the car. But it's just a different beast, you know.
Do they make new Hondas with stick shift? I know they make a new Honda Civics.
That's the thing I'm actually getting kind of worried about, because when it gets to the point where I've got a lot of money and I want to buy a nice car, am I going to be able to get a stick shift? And everybody's like, "Oh no, you got to do the paddle shift." I'm like, "No, I want to push a clutch in and
it's like a video
do
game.
A stick." Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they'll always make Camaros and stuff and Mustangs in 5 speeds if that's what you want. If you want crappy Mustang.
My dream car would be like a BMW M5.
Yeah, they'll always make those like that.
I hope so, because
Surely.
honestly, like everybody's still driving stick over in Europe.
Yeah, that's what Europeans call a stick shift American deterrent.
Right.
America's
Exactly.
deterrent.
I went to Paris a couple years ago. That's really the only time I've been like majorly overseas like that, and every car was stick. Humongous city, by the way. Oh my goodness, you ever been there?
No. I've been in Paris, Tennessee. About it.
It's close enough that the people are pretty much the same.
I need to get out of this country. I've been looking for jobs that have about 10 to 25% travel here lately, just for that reason.
Travel is fun. I love airports. I'm like kind of a, I don't know. It's just something about being in an airport, the smell of the jet fuel, every single time I get on a plane. Yeah, well, yeah, there's that. You have my people to thank for that. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
2019.
it's okay. I am one of those people, so it's okay. No, I'm just kidding. I smell great. I smell fantastic.
You look like you smell good.
I try to smell good. That's right. So yeah, it's something. Every time I get in a plane, like the idea that we can get something that big off the ground, it just amazes me. Every single time we get off the ground, I'm like, oh my God, look at this. Look what we've done. And it's such a regular thing. And there's just, tens of thousands of flights every day. This is going on nonstop. I'm like, wow.
So regular people get mad about it. Like, this is bullshit, man. Gotta watch another movie on the plane.
I know.
It's like a Louis C.K. joke.
I'm like the guy who I'm completely glued to the window the whole time looking at all the weather porn out there,
How often do you get the Fly Over the Weather channel? I'm assuming a lot.
No.
You're not Jim Cantori yet. I mean, one day.
No. So my problem is that I'm like the radar expert, so I'm always stuck in the studio. I'm always really jealous of everybody that gets to go out in the storms, I would love to do that, but I also love, tracking stuff live from in the studio. It's kind of my area of expertise, so I do enjoy it. But yeah, every time I see Cantori out in one of those things, I'm like, dude, I'm so jealous.
He's loving it. Doesn't he go to all the different food places too when he's out?
He does.
He makes a big thing of it.
Listen, if there's one thing about that guy, he is about as genuine of a human being as you'll ever meet. The exact person you see on camera is the exact person that he is in person. That's how I usually judge how good somebody is on the air.
Hey, I could tell that Jim Cantori was 100% Jim Cantori from judging from two words: thunder snow.
Yeah, that's right.
Thunder snow.
The man loves
it. We got it.
Some people love that stuff, and I do. I do too. Thunder snow is really cool, but there's a lot of people that like northeast snowstorms. There's a lot of people that kind of specialize in hurricanes. A lot of people that specialize in severe weather. I'm one of those people. I would say I like the tornadoes and the severe storms and hail and all that kind of stuff. But
that's your job there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to do everything here.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I could be a little bit more specialized, but it's all good.
I think I would be like in that area if I was in that profession, because I'm scared of snakes and severe weather, and whenever any of them happen, I can't take my eyes off of them and quit poking them with a stick.
So what is it? I'm curious. Why are you scared of severe weather? What is it about it?
I think it's the unknown, because once it's through, I will jump on and watch the coverage like it's nobody's business.
So you've probably been through some stuff. You live in the Huntsville area. You've been through a lot of severe weather, right?
Had an F2 hit our house in 2008.
Wow.
Back in, I'm from Scottsboro. It's just a little bit farther east. And it came up and came over. Mountains came over through Skyline, through Woodville. It didn't hit our house head on, but it made a path in front and knocked all the trees down.
So where were you during
was
that?
In front of do what?
Where were you during that?
I was in bed, asleep.
Oh, wow. Did you wake up or no?
Yeah, I woke up when it was like in the midst of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Sounded nice. Of course, our house was in the woods, and so shit was going haywire.
So for me, like tornadoes don't scare me at all, because anytime obviously this is kind of a unique perspective, but anytime there's any kind of severe weather going on, I'm on radar scope. I know exactly where everything is. I know where it's going. The one thing that scares the crap out of me with severe weather is lightning.
Ooh, yeah.
Can't do anything about it. You can't predict it. And I've been storm chasing many times, and I've never been scared of a tornado or damaging wind or anything like that. But man, when you just take a quick little peek out the window with your phone to grab a picture of a storm or something, that's when I'm like, please don't get hit by lightning. Please don't get hit by lightning.
Don't die, don't die, don't die,
Don't die. Exactly.
I think people could do a lot better by being more respectful of lightning, because you never think about it until it's like right there.
It kills a lot of people, and there's literally nothing you can do. I mean, it's in an absolute instant, and if the storm decides that lightning's going to come down there, it's going to come down there.
Yep, like a light switch.
Yep.
I think that when it comes to like you asked, I'm scared of tornadoes. Now it's not necessarily the storms. Shit. I think now it's that my kids exist in a world with tornadoes, and so I'm scared of that big F7 is going to come through when we're asleep, and even though that's like the rarest thing.
Well, do you have a way of getting warnings and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, like everybody else.
Yeah.
And when it's that time of day, I don't go to sleep anyway, so it's not like they're going to sneak up on me.
Well, you get nighttime tornadoes sometimes, especially like early spring in the winter down there. But do you have a tornado shelter?
Not in my house. If it's the type of day that they say that's going to happen, we get to one. But those just don't happen on any old pop-up line rolling through F3 and below kind of day. That comes through whenever there's supercells out front.
Yep.
When they start predicting that mess, that's when we go to my aunt's house who has one. So
listen to you, supercells out front. This is the one thing that I've always noticed about people in Huntsville. Everybody in Huntsville has some level of meteorology knowledge that always blows my mind.
You just watch it all the time. Like, is it going to be a line or is it a supercell? It's just going to be a line. Man, we ain't even setting on the clock. I'm turning my ringer off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember, exactly. I told you that one time on Facebook, if it's F2 and below, I am not going to wake up for this thing.
Now, you got to be careful with that, all right? Because, when you picture about the strongest wind that you can picture, that's probably like 80 or 90 miles an hour, right? So people don't really understand. This is why I love showing videos. This is what we've been doing at the Weather Channel Digital. So we've been showing a lot of we find like the craziest videos that we can find, and we show people that. We use it to tell the story. So if there's a day where, say, there's going to be a chance for some EF2 plus tornadoes with supercells in the plains or something, I'll tell my news desk, I'll say, hey guys, I need you to pull this video of this, EF4 tornado. There was this guy that was right next to it, and you could really see how strong the wind was. And then I'll use it in the video. So I'll be like, hey, we got a chance for some really strong tornadoes. And just in case you don't know what that kind of wind looks like, I want you to take this seriously. Look at this video, okay? Like, this is I'm not saying it's going to happen to you exactly, but like, this is what it looks like. This is why you can't just say, oh, it's just a F2 or it's just an F3 or what, you know what I mean?
Well, obviously.
But I mean, those things spin up all the time in those lines, and gosh, we get those all the time in Huntsville. I'd forgotten about that, but those lines roll through, and it's mostly damaging wind, and then they'll go back and do a bunch of surveys the next couple of days. People report damage, and they'll find a bunch of quick little EF1, EF0 tornadoes that happened. Yeah, man.
We were in Joe Davis one time in high school when an EF0 came through. We were all up, like nothing happened, like just a bunch of papers and shit, We're like, what the world was that?
Yeah.
Like when a severe thunderstorm just gets a little crazier than you think it is, like, oh, it's going to get worse, it's going to calm down. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Man, it's just, I live in Atlanta now. It's east of the mountains. We don't get that kind of weather here. We get, our worst part of severe weather season is summer, where we just get these big bubble up thunderstorms that can get really tall. Then they can produce downbursts and hail. And, I've seen a couple of nasty ones, but where I'm working right now, actually, we're on the 21st floor of a high rise on the north side of the city. So we get these great views of storms while they're happening. Had a fantastic one the other day where I could actually see little hail shafts. It appears like a little bit darker, like these dark lines that go vertical in the rain shaft. And I could also see the rain foot, which is when a storm produces a downburst, like it shoots out this gust of wind and it makes the rain kind of curl toward the ground on the edges. It's really, really cool.
So that's what makes it do that whenever you're not near a storm, but it's still pouring ass down rain.
Exactly.
I always wonder what happened to that.
Yeah.
And I know you've heard of that Atlanta tornado at the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I've seen video of that. That one wasn't too bad, luckily, but little pretty scary
And
stuff for the people that were there.
my friend Lackey, the lawyer here in back home, he was at that game, and he said if Mississippi State hadn't put it in overtime, everybody'd been outside in it.
Oh, that's
Like,
actually
my
a good
gosh.
point.
One time Mississippi State won something.
It's so interesting how the evolution has been of how like large conglomerates like that, where you're at a sporting event, how do they handle severe weather, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grace and I were at a big concert. It was a big outdoor music festival in North Carolina, Rockingham. You familiar with that one? You know that one?
Rockingham, it's by the racetrack.
Yes, we were actually camping on the racetrack. We were there for a couple of days. They had to cancel Bush and Tool and all these great bands I wanted to see, but there was a severe storm that was getting ready to roll through. They did a fantastic job. They, it came over the loudspeaker, hey, severe weather's coming. Everybody's got to leave the grounds now. And then we all left, and we had plenty of time. And by the time we got to our tent, well, we were staying inside of a car. We were sleeping in the back of the Subaru. So I was just filming out the window, and you're seeing tents flying all over the place. Shit. It was pretty bad, and I guess it did some damage to the main stage, so Tool couldn't play. And that's the second time that I've had tickets to see Tool that they've had to cancel, which is very disappointing.
You didn't produce a mini satellite truck and go live on the scene?
I would have loved to. You know, I should have just gone out in it, huh? If it wasn't for all the lightning, I would have. I'm not scared of the wind.
You could have had Grace throw like a lawn chair behind you.
Do the old setup?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the deal? What's the deal with the tornadoes never hitting big cities? You just reminded me of that. I was thinking, like, you never hear it hit, like, obviously if the region's not near tornadoes, but you never hear it hit like downtown at the entertainment district.
Well, there's probably a couple things in play. Number one, I think it's just been a lot of luck mostly. That's probably that's the majority of it. I think there was one. Wasn't there one that hit Dallas back in the day? And I think there was one that hit Miami back in the day.
Yeah, Miami got the seaport.
Okay,
that's remember right. It was out on their little their harbor, and then Dallas hit like the shipping yards, flinging those 18-wheelers everywhere.
That's right. And then there was one in Nashville, I think, many years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I don't doubt that. They get all kinds of shit there.
I mean, I'll tell you, if there's a city that would get... I mean, look, Tuscaloosa. I mean, that thing was... I mean, it's not a big high-rise city, but, you know, I think with the high-rises that they're high enough that it creates a little bit of friction that it may not... it might have a little bit more of an effect on tornadoes. But even so, it's not like that many tornadoes have actually, you know, come into those areas. So, I don't know.
I remember when I lived in Tuscaloosa for 3 years, they got a tornado 2 or 3 times a year.
Oh,
the one in 2011 obviously was the biggest. But they got one a week before that, just down McFarland, the weekend of A-Day.
Right. I remember that.
The forgotten outbreak, they call it.
And wasn't there one there in 2001?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Trying to think.
There was always one in there was a big F4 in Pleasant Grove or Pleasant View, just north of Birmingham, in between Tuscaloosa. That's a big one everybody talks about.
Okay. I'm sure I knew of it at some point. I've got
there was one every year in Tuscaloosa. I mean, write it down. Went north of the campus or south of the campus to never got on campus, I don't think.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna open up my software here and just take a quick little peek at some of the terrain around there. But it's just, at the end of the day, these are just prime spots. Like Tupelo's been hit, Coleman's been hit downtown. There were some decent sized buildings there where tornadoes were just ripping things up. I think it's just luck. That's the vast majority of what it is.
It's funny you mentioned Coleman and the propensity for people around here to have basic weather knowledge. You can use the town the tornado comes through in Mississippi to tell where it's going to hit here.
Oh, wow.
And like if it comes through up toward Tupelo, like that's Harvest. That's getting Athens all day.
Yep. Oh, dude, look at this. I'm just looking at, there's a really nice line of storms about to smash Nashville right now.
Smashville?
Smashville.
Go Preds.
They're under a severe thunderstorm warning. And
are you a Bruins fan or a Preds fan?
Bruins. Preds second. But man, do I love hockey. And the Bruins almost won the damn Stanley Cup this year. It was so close. Good for the Blues. Good for them. They deserved it.
That's what Bill Burr says. You know, if I had to hack a second team beside the Bruins.
So you're a Bill Burr listener. I listened to like every single one of his podcasts. I got a lot of time in the car, brother.
Yep. There it comes.
There it is. You see it. Yep.
Smash Town. Downtown's going to be flooded. Them hippies ain't going to have nowhere to hide now.
It might be. I think that might be moving fast enough that the flooding won't be an issue, but that's a lot of lightning in there. And they're right on the tip of that bow echo, so they're probably going to get some a lot of damage, wind damage.
Good old-fashioned straight line winds.
Oh, yeah.
Good old bow echoes. That's a BT word there. That's a bow echo.
That's right.
I'm getting him on next. I'm using you as leverage. Brad Travis, look who I got. You gonna let him show you up?
Hey, you should. I'm good buddies with Brad. You should have him on, and I'll tell him that you're legit. All right. What do you think about that?
All right. I want to go to that Mug's house though. He's got a cool house. See, go to his Mustang Grill.
He's an old school man's man. That dude just builds stuff. You know. Yep.
He reminds me of Tim Taylor.
Right. I'm totally not good with that kind of stuff. Like, I just had somebody install an awning for me because I couldn't do it myself.
Who did your driveway? I saw it just got.
Oh man. Oh, it was a concrete company, but dude, that needed to be done so bad. I wish I could have delayed that, but it had to be done. That's a lot of money, man. That was like $5,500. It's a lot of money.
How long was that? That had to be like 50 yards.
It's a big driveway. It's a huge driveway, but it's been just torn up by roots, you know?
Ooh, yeah. Nothing you can do about those.
No, there really isn't. I think the northeast side of Nashville is going to get oh my goodness. There's some 70 to 80 mile an hour wind showing up on the radar directly along the radial just northwest of the radar site.
Is this a live Nashville forecast on the Bobby Dizzle podcast?
That's right. Is this live?
No.
Oh.
It would have been, but I'm saving them up.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to help you.
Sorry, Nashville. Your hippies will float away without you knowing what happened.
I do love that town. That's another fantastic city. I really like Nashville.
Have you been since the Uber Bird showed up?
What's that?
The scooters?
No.
Wow. You'll really hate those people.
Well, yeah, listen, I'm just going to be straight. I don't like anything except cars on the road. I just don't. And I've caught some flack for this, like with my friends that bike. I cannot stand bikers on the road. You know, yes, the majority of them, they're fine. They stay off to the side, but they're hard to see. And, you know, they just have this attitude like, this is my road too. And it's like, dude, there are humongous cars here and it's not easy to see you. We're not trying to kill you.
The laws of physics, you know.
It's physics. Yeah. And then you get these, okay, I get it if you're off to the side, but when they're just sitting in the middle of the road, just acting like it's okay to go 20 miles an hour in a 45 because this is my road too. Get off the road. Get out of here.
Off the road.
Go find a bike trail.
Yeah, there's plenty. The whole freaking Atlanta area is gentrified now. There's a greenway. Go find it.
There is. Yeah, my girlfriend goes mountain biking all the time on these trails and all that kind of stuff. But anyway.
That's what my dad's into now.
Really?
Yeah, he's a biker. He's in better shape than I am.
Oh my gosh, good for him.
Crazy. He's always been though. Ever since he had back surgery and I was in 4th grade, he kind of tuned it up. Keep himself from going lame.
Nice, man. Heck yeah. Look at I love your background here. You got quite a nice setup. Listen, if I had some time I could set up a good background, but I'm literally sitting at the spot where I play Xbox.
Are you talking about my current shot now?
I think it's good. I like it.
This is my temporary Skype shot. This is not my studio.
Oh.
This is my studio. I got this giant. Oh.
Oops. I did not mean to do that. I accidentally just took a screenshot.
It's okay. The ugliest face ever. Yeah, my crap. What did I do? Yeah, I didn't set it up because the way the recording works, it does a portrait mode. And so instead of normally I'd have my full shot up here and you would look like you were in an actual studio, but since I just started, I found that out like during testing and shit, and I was like, crap, I got to do something.
This works,
I took this. I took that, and this is my Skype setup. When I do a regular one, it's much nicer. Like I spent like $2,000.
It's a beautiful shot you got. I'm counting all your nose hairs right now.
I'm so sorry. There's a lot.
Yeah, I'm
I
getting
have-
older, man. I'm in my 30s now, so I'm getting like all this ear hair and nose hair. It sucks.
I'm going to show you a picture of it. Show you a picture of my nose hair. Anyway, you're, you know, I didn't want to text you earlier because you were getting your kid ready, but about the time that I got home and we would have been going live or thinking about going live, really shifting gears here, but it's relevant to you because of stuff we used to talk about every once in a while.
Yep.
Bernie Sanders live on Joe Rogan.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Take a long draw off that Miller High Life champagne and beers.
I almost spit my beer out. I can't wait to listen to that tomorrow. How about that? Good for him. I
So
think Joe.
you better go change your bank account number because Bernie's after it.
Oh no, isn't Joe? I think he's endorsing Tulsi or whatever, right? Tulsi Gabbard.
Probably. He's that weird sort of not all the way Democrat.
Yeah, he's just a reasonable dude. He's kind of like, I mean, yeah, he's like more left leaning, but he's reasonable. You know, that's all we really want nowadays. I mean, why do you think Trump won? It's because people are sick of political correctness, and even if they thought that Trump's an idiot, they said, "F you, I'm voting for Trump." That's
I can't
a
go
swing
with
vote
the,
right
the
there.
murderer. Now, does your brother still do the libertarian show out there?
I don't think so. But
And what state was that? Wisconsin?
no, it was up in upstate New York. He was in
Upstate New
Binghamton. It
York?
was a college show. Yeah, that takes some guts to do a
Jesus.
libertarian show at a college nowadays.
I was gonna have him on if he's still doing it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. What do you think's gonna happen in 2020? You think he wins again?
I think if they don't put a horse in there that's not traditional, then I think he does win again.
I completely agree. I think
I don't hate Trump. This is not an anti-Trump podcast, but I didn't vote for him. I mean, mostly because of a couple people, you included. I voted for Gary Johnson in the last one.
I'm a Gary guy. Yeah, I really liked Gary.
He's kind of nuts, but I really liked his stance on everything.
Me too. He's fantastic. And I guess he was a governor as a Republican, and everybody just loved him when he was in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, it's the game. These guys are not going to get any. It's set up. Everybody's in with each other, media and all the Republicans and Democrats, and no third party's ever going to have a chance. It's a shame because there's a lot of reasonability, if that's even a word.
That's why you got Ron Paul and Rand Paul on the Republican ticket.
That's right. Now
They
the
should've
problem.
won.
Well, the problem with libertarians also is that it attracts too many crazies, and then people like to just say, "Oh, these are the crazy conspiracy theorists, and they happen to be libertarians, so all libertarians are like that." Not the case.
That cream does rise in the libertarian cocktail.
Yes,
Pretty much 100%.
it sure does.
I had a neighbor who had a Geo Metro convertible that was painted with Ron Paul signs, Ron Paul stickers. It's like, that is not a good look. That's not a good look for Mr. Paul.
Well, immediately when people see anything that you have to do with Ron Paul, they think you're a kook. You know what I mean?
Even I thought he was at first.
I think Trump's going to win again in 2020. I do.
I don't see how he doesn't.
I agree, because the problem is Democrats they keep doubling down on all the stuff that made them lose in the first place. This I don't know, race baiting and the
I might could roll with him on something they'd quit that crazy stuff.
You know, look, at the end of the day, how much, even with the craziest guy in there possible, how much has our lives changed? Have our lives changed?
For the better? A little bit.
I would say a little bit for the better for me.
Yeah.
My paycheck's a little bigger. The taxes went down a little bit. And what people don't really think of, you see all these loud people on social media, but the vast majority of America is just kind of like, okay, I actually do just care about the economy and these things that matter, and all this noise nobody gives a shit about.
No, that's I compare it to the iTunes terms of service, all that other stuff. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I mean, like, he hates women. I'm like, he doesn't really hate women, and he's never displayed much of a racist tendency, other than the race that happens to be coming across the border is not a white race. So
he needs to do a better job of using his words.
The tactfulness of that situation was got him in trouble because
it's
horrible. Bad hombres.
You know what he needs to say? He comes out and he says, "Oh, these people are murdering our citizens and all this stuff." All he needs to say, I wish I could be his PR guy. I'll just tell him. I'll just say, "Listen, Donald, just say, look, I know this is how you actually feel. Just go out and tell the people, look, I know the vast majority of people coming over the border. They just want a better life. They're good people, hard workers, just good, solid, strong, great human beings. But I'm sorry, we just don't have room right now. And the problem is that some of the people that are coming over can do some bad stuff. So that could be a problem. Like if he just says it like that rather than, oh, these people are murdering our citizens, all of a sudden it's a different story. You know, it's all about the presentation.
He led with the murdering part. You're like, whoa.
The guy, listen, there's a lot of stuff I like about him and there's a lot of stuff I don't like about him. If you've ever seen me on TV, you probably know why I like him, because he's authentic. He's himself. He doesn't care that much what people. Well, actually, I'd go back on that. He does care a lot what people think about him, and that's his demise sometimes.
Yeah,
he
loves his public image.
He's 100% a narcissist. He has a problem with that. He acts like a 2-year-old. He's like a child, and that stuff drives me nuts. But the fact that this is what people were craving. This is why people like Bernie, because he was authentic. He was real. He said what's on his mind. Even if you disagree with Bernie's politics, this is why he was so popular. People didn't want I don't want another Clinton. I don't want another Bush. We don't want any more of this stuff. We don't want the political ruling class anymore. We're ready for somebody different.
Who would have thought Clinton would have been a good idea?
Oh, come on, guys. I mean, jeez. Yuck.
Really?
Yeah.
You eliminate half the country as just from the get.
Yeah, you really do.
Especially with that Clinton.
Listen, I don't care who it is. It has, and then people say, "Oh, it's because she's a woman." No, it's because she's a lifetime politician, and we're sick of it. That's it. And you know why a lot of people voted for Trump? Because they're sick of being called sexist and racist and all this BS when they're not. They just don't like the person. You know what I mean?
My aunt pulled that one on me. Just because she's a woman? Man. No, it's Sometimes
not.
I forget that she's a woman.
Yeah.
It's kind of easy to forget it.
Oh, that's not very nice, Bob. You're a mean man. I would not say something like that.
Oh, I did.
I'm offended.
Please don't be triggered. It's a trigger for
Too late. I'm triggered.
Triggered on them Miller Lights.
Yeah, well, the whole reason I bought these High Lifes was to cook some brats at my daughter's party the other day. I made beer brats. I had some extra, so I'm like, all right, I guess I'll drink them. I'm from Wisconsin. To get the
champagne and beers. You get them cold, they're awesome. They're better than Coors Light.
They do have to be cold. That is definitely the truth with that.
Wait, so you're actually from Wisconsin, or were you? I know you went to school there.
Okay, I was born in Rhode Island.
Ooh.
I lived there through 7th grade, and then I moved to Wisconsin in 8th grade. Went to high school there, and then I went to college in Madison. Yeah.
You didn't go to Mississippi State?
Mm-mm.
Like every other meteorologist?
No, I didn't. Look, what are you trying to get out of me? You're trying to get me to trash the Mississippi Staters?
No, I'm just asking.
No,
I wrote on here what made you want to be a meteorologist, but that's a dumb question.
Well, I'll tell you. When I was a little kid, I used to be scared of thunderstorms. It used to make my stomach upset every time I heard thunder. I specifically remember. I remember being in the car with my dad one time. We were driving to the Warwick Mall in Rhode Island, and I saw lightning and I heard thunder. My stomach hurt, and I had to go to the bathroom. And I was like, "Dad, you got to pull over. I'm scared." And I was little. I don't know why I remember that, but I started off in college at the University of Wisconsin. I was going to go for engineering because I'm a math science guy. I was your typical, I didn't really know where I was going to go. And then the engineering school was really hard to get into, and I was partying a lot and all that kind of stuff. I'll be honest. But I just remembered, hey, dude, I love weather. I just really like weather. I'm fascinated by it. I want to learn more about it. And there's a lot of physics in it, which I love. So I went into it. I just went to get a degree for meteorology. And then my senior year, I got a internship with the local weatherman in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His name was John Milan. I think he's retired now.
Really?
One really great guy,
See.
WTMJ. And so I got an internship with him, but I wasn't planning on being an on-air person. I just thought I was going to help him out. I thought I was going to, make maps with him and, help him out with the meteorology and all that kind of stuff. And then it came time to get a job. I mean, it was my senior year of college. He's like, why don't you go up on the wall and I'll teach you how to do this? I was like, all right, I guess we can give it a whirl. And we made a tape. And then I got a job in local news. I started in Lima, Ohio. You ever heard of Lima, Ohio?
I haven't. I'm just interested in how somebody actually pulled off this career transition, because that's what I didn't go into meteorology. I went into telecommunications and film.
Yeah.
Ended up on Redstone as a VTC guy. And
You just never know. Careers are so crazy, and who knows where I'll end up. I'm not married to this. I do love it. I think I got a knack for it. I got lucky that I kind of found something that I was all right at. And so, so Lima, Ohio, WLIO. God bless those people for giving me a chance.
You didn't see any tornadoes in Ohio, did you?
Oh yeah, you get tornadoes in Ohio. You betcha.
That's what I was going to say. That's where they come through most. That's where those top parts of those systems come through.
Well, it's just a little bit of a different tornado season. Van Wert, Ohio, I think they had an F5 and 2005 or 6. I could be totally off on that, but they get tornadoes from time to time. I've covered some tornadoes there. It's mostly straight line wind damage. They get the squall lines that come through.
And
but
snow.
Those people were fantastic. They were wonderful people. The community there, they were so nice to me. I felt like a rock star there. It's crazy. And now here I am at the Weather Channel. I'm doing these videos for the app that billions of people are seeing, and nobody knows who I am.
Yeah, you're a rock star here in Huntsville too.
I don't know about that.
I saw you at the hockey game before I even met you. People are like, well, who's everybody shaking this guy's hand? Like,
was that happening?
Yeah, you like 10 or 12 people. Even the usher did. Hey man, how you doing?
Well, that was nice. I haven't had something like that in a while. I do miss local news quite a bit because you have that connection with the community. It's like your work is validated.
Yeah, saving the lives of folks right there.
Yeah, and that's something that people don't really turn to the Weather Channel for. You're not going for in the moment. And I'll even tell you, I mean, working at the Weather Channel, I would suggest that during an actual severe weather outbreak, you should be watching your local station, the people that know the area better, and they're focused on that. We're giving more of generalized forecasts, like, hey, here's where the bad stuff is going to be later on. Be prepared for it, etc.
The Weather Channel to me seems not so much as like a straight up weather forecast channel, but more like a weather version of like the History Channel or Discovery Channel. Like it's got kind of like a weather scientific feel to it, or it does during the day anyway. I don't know about at night.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're even aware of this because we do a good job of masking it, but the Weather Channel Digital and the Weather Channel TV channel, they're completely different companies now.
Really?
A couple years ago, IBM came in. It was like 3 years ago. IBM came in and they said, we want all the digital properties. Which includes, so it was the Weather Company, right? The Weather Company owned Weather Underground, WSI, which is the graphic system, and then the Weather Channel Digital. And they came in and they said, we want all this stuff, but we don't want the TV network. Okay. So obviously that was very weird. We became different companies. It was a little bit of a, rough divorce, at least, with the higher ups.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course,
imagine.
Me and Cantori are still friends. Like all the people that worked there together are cool, but we broke off and we're literally in a different building right now. We're making videos for the web that are in a completely different studio than they're doing TV on. So back in the day when I first started working there, we would intermingle a lot. We would I would do a lot of TV, they would do a lot of digital, I would do a lot of we would all just kind of intermingle. Mm-hmm. But now that's not a thing. So they're actually the TV right now. It's a company called Weather Group, but they leased the name The Weather Channel from us because IBM owns the rights to the name The Weather Channel, the branding, and they own the Weather Channel, digital, weather.com, Weather Underground, WSI, all that stuff. So I work for IBM now.
So you haven't been on TV in a while? I guess it's just a Mandela effect. I mean, I swear I've seen you on like recently.
Really? I wonder if it was like an old episode of Weather Gone Viral or something like that.
Maybe it has, because I watch a lot of the because you were on a couple of the bits on YouTube. That's probably what it is. Because whenever they do the Mythbuster style kind of thing, for lack of a better word, just like an informative piece.
That's right.
I don't watch TV. I don't watch Weather Channel anyway, except when I'm at work and they have it on the big screen.
It's just a different game. It's a different game nowadays. They're producing fantastic content over there on the TV channel, but nowadays everybody just has it on their phone. And I'll never forget. I mean, growing up as a kid, my parents were cheap. We didn't have cable. Every time we got to go visit my grandparents in Baltimore, my grandpa had cable, and I would just sit there and watch the Weather Channel.
The Weather.
Just sit there and watch it. And that's kind of how you got your forecast. You wait for the local on the 8s.
Locally.
And then you would get excited for the tropical update on the 50s and all that kind of stuff. And all that stuff they're still doing now, and they're doing it better than they ever have, but it's just a different time, and people aren't like, wow, I'm going to sit here and watch this anymore, you know?
Let's sit here and watch the Weather Channel for an hour and a half to see where that cloud's coming through.
Right. Exactly.
At one time, they were doing Tornado Week and Hurricane Week, and I don't even know what happened to that. I think that was experimental.
I don't remember that.
This was 2013.
Okay.
I worked in a big network operations center where we had every channel up to monitor the world, and Weather Channel was one of them, obviously. And when it was they'd always run the pieces because you can't just report weather all the time. They'd have the videos you were talking about from out west and the home footage. And one time they had a tornado week, and all week long they would just show tornado, and it worried me half to death. I'm like, y'all got to turn that off.
Yeah. Well, actually, the crazy thing is so many people complain. You mostly hear it in the weather weenie community, like on Twitter. People get upset. What is the Weather Channel doing? They got all these reality shows now, blah, blah, blah. Guys, look at the ratings. They just do well. They wouldn't be on still if they weren't doing well. It's the bottom line. I'm sorry to say it, but yeah, there are times where there could be adjustments made where if there's some severe weather going on, they should break out of it, etc. But I mean, they're good shows. I like watching them too. Actually, I do really enjoy watching those shows. I love watching like a documentary on the Tuscaloosa tornado of 2011. Yeah. I'll watch that all day.
That's the way to do it. I mean, nobody watches CMT anymore because all they play is Burt Reynolds movies.
Man,
get busted in.
Isn't Twister on CMT once in a while? I could have sworn I saw Twister on there.
Twister and Dumb and Dumber and Top Gun.
What's up, Peanut? It's been a long time since I've seen you. How you doing?
She just got out of the bath. You see Ari? I think you were a fetus last time you two talked.
Oh, stop it. What a good-looking kiddo. You actually kind of look like your dad now. Look at you. Arr.
Climbing under the table now.
Dude, I have such a soft spot for little girls now that I have a daughter.
Yeah, it's freaking disgusting, isn't it? You turn into this blathering fool and you leave them.
It is. There's just nothing better. I mean, when I go to daycare and I always try to like surprise her. I go to daycare and I just sit in the room in the corner and wait till she notices me, and then she runs over, Daddy. Oh my God. And
they
now
don't ever start crying when they see you?
No, I used to want sons. I used to want boys. But now that I have a daughter, all I want is more girls. I'd be happy if I ended up like Jim and had 4 girls.
I'm worried if I kept going, that'd be what would happen. I don't know how to make boys.
I hope that's the case for me too. Look at that cutie pie. Hey, you.
I think I'm about to start getting invaded.
Uh-oh.
Stop it. Hey, quit acting weird. All right, Ari. Thanks for letting me bother you.
Anytime.
Maybe I can get you back one day.
Please do. Seriously. I know
come back to Huntsville. Yeah.
Well, listen. How about when I come back to Huntsville, we should hang out. I'm going to be there for close to a week. We should all get together with the boys.
We could do one in studio here at the Bobby Dizzle Show.
Let's do it.
You'd be impressed at that, though. I'm serious. I've spent a lot of time and research on this.
I'd love to see it. Seriously. Let's
Everyone,
do it.
please love me.
I'm in. That's what I feel like sometimes. Everybody needs some love, Bob.
Alrighty, I'll let you go since it's 9:30 Hot Atlanta time.
All right, buddy.
All right,
It's been
have fun
fun.
with the Weather Channel. I'm going to download the app again because my other phone started to suck and I got rid of it like a
You
year
don't
ago.
have the app. What's wrong with you? You better be
I
watching
got a
my
new phone a
videos.
year ago.
You're fired.
I watched Brad Travis. All right, man.
I would watch Brad Travis too. I
Go
understand.
Badgers, go Bruins.
Yes, indeed. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
Peace out.
Peace out.